Hello, in this episode we're going to cover the meter tag. The meter tag is a little bit less useful than some of the other tags that you have at your disposal in our arsenal of HTML5. Just because it's only supported by two browsers right now, and that's Opera and Chrome. The other browsers do not quite have support for the meter tag yet. The meter tag, you can think of it as a progress bar because that's basically what it does. And the three major attributes that it takes are the minimum, maximum, and value. And you're basically setting the low range, the high range, and then what the actual value is set at. And then if we take a look, you'll see that it creates a bar with 50% green and 50% gray. And the style of that is kind of different from each browser. So I'm assuming that in the future you're going to be able to really work with it through CSS, but it could be one of those things like the select tab, where creating custom looks and styles to those is going to be actually kind of a pain in the butt. But either way, there's a few other things. You have the high. Sorry for the caps. High. And that's basically denoting what is the high range. And so I'm going to say the high range is 8. And then what is low? And then low range, I'm going to say that's 3. And then optimum. Now, optimum is basically what's the best range, I guess you could say. So let's just say optimum is 5, and this is like a heat meter or something. And let's change our value up to 6. And then if we take a look, nothing's going to change. And you're like, whoa, what's the point of that? Well, that's because right now there's not a lot to it automatically. The spec doesn't have the high, low, and the optimum really do anything, but you can use those for other things. Like if you were turning this into some kind of a loading bar, you could, when something reaches the optimum or the high or the low, you can have it like change some stuff with JavaScript. I mean, you could just check the value anyways, but this just gives you a little bit of a, some feedback directly in the tag, and you can set these values, and then, when you come back to change them, you can change them in the tag rather than having to change your code or whatever later on. At least that's the idea of it right now. In the future, if they decide to kind of work with a little more, make it where you have like, maybe slightly different coloring for the highs and lows, that would be absolutely cool. But that's not part of the spec, so don't expect anything like that. But I could definitely see there being some very cool uses for this in the future. So that's the meter tag. There's not much more to it. Peace.